Hello, my name is Ben Foote, and I have made the commitment to be mayor of Ottumwa, Iowa. I'm glad that this video found you. We're going through some of the different topics that start to create the vision that I have for Ottumwa, Iowa, and really it's about defining the identity of what Ottumwa really should be, really could be. And we've talked about this three-prong issue that we have here in Ottumwa that we need to kind of put together and solve to see Ottumwa grow in the way that we want it to grow. And those three prongs are housing, business, and childcare. In this video, we're specifically talking about housing and some of the housing goals and how we can go about kickstarting that to reach those goals, to exceed those goals, and see the growth happen here in Ottumwa in such a great way. If we look back in the comprehensive plan that was put together, there was an amendment done in 2022. And in that amendment, it set a goal to bring in 500 additional housing units by 2030. And looking at that, that is a great goal. And we're on our way to that. We would really need to step things up in order to meet that goal, but I think it's very achievable. At the same time, if I look at the bridge that expands between where our expenses are as a city today and where our budget is, there's a growing gap. And when we're talking about growth, we need to see a growth of up to 5,000 people. Now, granted, people and units are two different things. So if you look at units, 500 units, that's 2.4. That's on average 2.4 people per unit. We really need to start seeing a growth of probably um, maybe 2 to 3,000 units, not just 500. And so that's where we're headed. That's where we want to go. I think there's ways that we can kickstart that and get there a little bit quicker. Now, some of the problems that we're running into is when we're trying to build new houses, that requires new infrastructure. And frankly, we don't have that budget to be able to do a whole bunch of new infrastructure in Ottumwa. However, we do have a lot of existing lots that are available. The problem is those existing lots just don't work with new house design. Um, on those existing lots, we have many of them that already have units on them, but they're in disrepair or abandoned. They're unable to be used as a housing unit. And then we have rental units. But the rental units, again, those are in disrepair because of destructive qualities, really from tenants that have come in and just disrespected the property that isn't theirs. Um, and because of that, renters are just unable to keep up with repairs. So we have a multi layered problem that we're fighting against in order to reach that goal of, of 500 by 2030. And I would say a 2,000 uh, increase in population by 2030. So we really need to find a way to kickstart that. And here's some of the ideas I have. One, if we can look at the adjacent or look at the lots that we're going to clear abandoned houses that are in so disrepair, and we're going to clear those for new building, I'd like us to start looking at where are lots that are adjacent to each other to where we can clear two lots, pair them back together as one, and make it a double lot for a single resident owner. That would increase the value of the lot, increase the value of their home, and improve the neighborhood that much quicker. I think we could provide incentives for property managers to upgrade their rental units simply by backing up the laws that are in place so that they have confidence knowing that anyone who comes in and leases their property, there will be ways that they can hold them accountable to making sure that their property is not tore up and not vandalized. And with that confidence, then the renters are more apt to invest in additional properties and improving the properties that they have. And then we need to look at how can we incentivize other developers in the area, contractors, to take some of these disrepair units and fix them up and flip them, or fix them up and turn them into additional existing rental units. Um, by fixing up things that are in disrepair, that's a quick way to add additional units. We're not having to add infrastructure, and we're improving the neighborhoods. And all of this then kickstarts things. It's not the final thing, but it kickstarts us in the direction we want to go. And we can use the additional tax revenue that we have through that Kickstart program from fixing and flipping and renting. Then we use that revenue to improve and build new infrastructure. And it's that new infrastructure then that we can build new developments. In order to build new developments, not only do we need infrastructure, we need to also provide incentives through taxes or grants for new construction growth. Remember, as a business owner, if I'm a developer or a contractor and I'm looking to build a new development, it needs to make money in order for me to do it. If I'm not going to do it to lose money because I'd be out of business. And so, as a community, if there are ways that we can reduce the tax burden for the time to get things kickstarted, knowing that in the end, that tax is going to come back in a multiple return because of the growth that we're going to see in the city, that's well worth it. And then through all this, we maintain the fixing and flipping of the disrepaired units because it's by doing that we see entire neighborhoods improved, and then our neighborhoods increase in value, and then our city increases in value, and then more businesses want to come here. So this is just one of the dominoes that needs to be put together, that needs to fall in place. And so those are some of my ideas to improve on what we're doing, moving towards our housing goal. We've started. We're already going in the right direction. I just feel like we need to get there quicker. I think we need to be more aggressive as we do that. And these are some of the ideas of how we can do it. And as always, how do we do it? Well, we need to put our best foot forward. And we do that one step at a time as we take this journey together. So I'm glad you're here.